October 4th news. We're starting off with some very interesting news from WWE, as the biggest promotion in the world has referenced the competition. After the premiere of AEW Dynamite on TNT, WWE sent out an official response, congratulating the new company, saying that the real winners were the fans. Congratulations to AEW on a successful premiere. The real winners of last night's head-to-head telecasts of NXT on USA Network and AEW on TNT are the fans, who can expect Wednesday nights to be a competitive and wild ride, as this is a marathon, not a one-night sprint. It's certainly refreshing to see WWE give props to AEW, despite fans calling this a war. Though one person who wasn't impressed was AEW World Champion Chris Jericho. Speaking to Complex Sports, Jericho even went to say that the WWE were embarrassed on Wednesday, claiming, "I know how they work, and the fact is, I haven't seen the actual rating, but I'm assuming they know how it is, and I think we probably kicked their ass. They started this." Continuing, Jericho also claimed that WWE had been arrogant about AEW in the past, but that arrogance is now long gone. Another person who didn't take kindly to WWE's cordial gesture was Vince Russo. And though Cody Rhodes didn't want the controversial booker at StarCast earlier this year, Russo took AEW's side online. On Twitter, Russo said it was wrong for a company to praise others, and compared McMahon's actions to Coke, telling its customers to try Pepsi instead. SmackDown superstar Xavier Woods took a more gentle approach, saying that he hopes everyone has fun and does well, but his New Day partner Big E took a very different approach. Responding to Woods, the powerhouse joked about wishing pestilence and travail on his enemies in a tweet that had plenty of fans reaching for a dictionary. Like WWE said in their release, the Wednesday Night Wars is definitely a marathon and not a sprint, and fans will have plenty more nights of watching two screens at the same time if AEW and NXT continue to bring their A game. Breaking the numbers down, AEW Dynamite crushed NXT on Wednesday, though that was to be expected given it was the company's pilot episode. Whilst NXT did a respectable 0.89 million viewers, Dynamite did 1.4 million, and also had a higher percentage of that crucial 18 to 49 demographic. Dynamite also did better in the 12 to 34 demographic, getting 0.56 rating to NXT's 0.23, though it was the yellow brand that won out in the 50-plus age range. It'll be interesting to see where both companies go from here, but if they continue this level of quality, the real winners of this war will indeed be the fans. We're looking ahead to tonight's edition of SmackDown, as the debut episode of the blue brand on Fox has everyone excited. Earlier this week, The Rock confirmed he'll be appearing tonight, as he's the guy who popularized the term SmackDown in the first place, and the Great One's return has sparked the interest of Randy Orton. Taking to Twitter, the Viper said he wanted to discuss which of the two was the greatest third-generation star of all time, and laid out the challenge for a match at WrestleMania 36. Though the pair have crossed paths in the past, even competing at WrestleMania 20 in Madison Square Garden, Orton and The Rock have never met one-on-one, and it seems the dream match between the two may finally happen on April 5th in Tampa. Even if Rock and Orton don't cross paths, fans will still be able to see the two face off in the upcoming WWE 2K20 video game, which dropped its first gameplay trailer earlier this week. The trailer features a ton of new footage ahead of the game's release on October 22nd, and this will be the 7th installment in the 2K series, after the company took over from THQ's SmackDown vs. Raw series. This promo, entitled Step Inside, is definitely worth checking out, especially as it gives a major push to one of WWE's most popular stars today, The Fiend. Speaking of Bray, Wyatt will have the opportunity to become Universal Champion at Hell in a Cell this Sunday at Sacramento's Golden One Center. But Wyatt isn't waiting until then to make his presence known in the City of Trees. Appearing in character on Good Day Sacramento, Wyatt told the hosts how he was doing, quote, super duper, as the Firefly Funhouse theme played, but also revealed his friends in the Funhouse were upset they didn't get an invite too. That fact didn't wipe the smile off the face of the Eater of Worlds though, and neither did describing the Hell in a Cell match, as he gleefully told viewers, "It's this big horrible structure that we do combat in." When asked about the Fireflies, Wyatt said it was good to have friends. Though, Wyatt said he was worried for this Sunday, as it's his alter ego The Fiend who will be taking on Rollins, and Wyatt said, "I don't know what he's going to do." To their credit, the hosts handled the interview well, and hopefully this amusing segment will have got fans and non-fans alike ready for Hell in a Cell this Sunday. One superstar who knows all about Hell in a Cell is Edge, who recently made a ton of headlines after he hit a spear on the SummerSlam kickoff show, and followed it up by saying that he could probably wrestle again. And according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there has been a lot of talk of that happening. In the latest installment, the Observer noted that there is a talk private about Edge wrestling again, and that WWE gave the former world champion a significant offer to do so. With that said, Edge's health remains the deciding factor in all of this. As the report states, while it is not confirmed that he will wrestle again, the idea of him wrestling again has definitely been talked about very privately, although we're not sure if he can get clearance. Those in WWE's creative department are under the impression that Edge will never be cleared, but if he is, a huge match at one of WWE's Saudi Arabia shows could be a genuine possibility in the coming years. From one Hall of Famer to another now, as Kurt Angle hasn't had a great week when it comes to family. According to CBS Pittsburgh, Eric Angle, Kurt's real-life brother, was indicted for distributing anabolic steroids on the dark web, and what the authorities are claiming was a 3-person operation. The 3 people are allegedly members of the Quantum Drug Trafficking Ring, who import steroids from China and other countries to sell for cash and cryptocurrency. If convicted, Eric is facing several serious charges, including conspiracy to distribute controlled substances and conspiracy to import controlled substances. To make matters worse, he was already facing assault charges from an incident where he chokes a kid he was coaching on a wrestling team. Fans may remember Eric working alongside his brother on WWE TV in both 2000 and 2003, but it seems things have gone downhill in the years since then. Back to NXT now, and after the Yellow's brand explosive full-length episode on the USA Network this week, the company has announced some huge matches for this Wednesday. On the show, Kushida will get his hands on NXT UK champion Walter, whilst Lio Rush will face Drew Gulak for what is now being referred to as the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. The name change was made public via a graphic for the match and was confirmed by WWE with the name being changed on their website. While the title will be under NXT's banner from now on, it will still be used on 205 Live, as the show has been moved to Friday after SmackDown on the WWE Network. On Twitter, Gulak commented on the match, claiming he will usher in a new era of pain and punishment for the Cruiserweights, and claimed he is the law from now on. Next week's NXT will once again have to go up against AEW Dynamite, and though MJF doesn't seem to keep many friends in the company, one of his closest pals in the whole world is Cody Rhodes. During the post-Dynamite media scrum, Maxwell Jacob Friedman asked whether he'd wrestle Cody, and after a long-winded reply from MJF, which compared his own career to boxing, he made it clear he doesn't ever want to tangle with his best friend. Whilst these two may be real-life pals, a storyline feud between them could be interesting, and with MJF's friendship to Cody starting to get national attention, a grudge match between them could definitely be best for business. Back to NXT now, and though the show didn't match up to AEW's viewing figures this week, the show did see the incredible return of Finn Balor. Balor, who is considered by many as the brand's greatest graduate, returned to confront Adam Cole this week and spoke to Newsweek about a variety of topics. Asked about his return, Balor described coming back to NXT as a huge honor after his recent absence, which started when he lost to The Fiend at SummerSlam. Though Balor targeted NXT champion Adam Cole when he returned, the former Universal Champion isn't exactly going to be picky with his matches. As he told Newsweek, "I'm going to wrestle whenever, whoever I want. That's something I've been chasing for quite some time in my career." When asked about why he chose to have a showdown with Cole though, Balor told readers that he's no stranger to groups, as he's been in groups in the past, but teased assembling a faction of his own to take on the Undisputed Era. Whether that group of Balors actually materializes remains to be seen, but it'll certainly make for interesting TV as we have faction warfare as part of NXT. Of course, the big story of today hasn't actually happened yet, as the Smackdown debut episode on Fox will happen in just a few hours. Before the show though, a special blue carpet pre-show event will take place, with a press release by Fox confirming that Renee Young and Booker T will be hosting the festivities. As fans will know, Young and Booker were recently announced for the new FS1 studio show WWE Backstage, so this pre-show will give fans just a taste of what to expect, with the duo welcoming special guests and offering insight and analysis on the upcoming matches. Charissa Thompson of Fox's NFL Kickoff will also be on hand for arrivals and interviews outside the Staples Center, while WWE's own Kayla Braxton will be providing backstage access to Superstar during the show. With all this excitement before the show, tonight's SmackDown will certainly be one to remember, and there will be plenty of action on SmackDown itself once the cameras start rolling. 4 matches have been confirmed so far, including WWE Champion Kofi Kingston defending against Brock Lesnar in the Beast's first SmackDown match in over 15 years. Meanwhile, Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon will put their careers on the line, literally, when they meet in a ladder match with the loser being forced to leave WWE for good. Roman Reigns will take on Eric Rowan, whilst Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair will face off against the Boston Hug Connection. Outside of the matches, there'll be plenty for fans to see, including plenty of legends appearing, including a special spot by The Rock, though fans shouldn't be expecting to see John Cena, who is unlikely to show due to his movie shootings. Even without Cena around, tonight's show will be a night of epic proportions for WWE, and will air live on Fox in the Eastern and Central time zones, as well as on the Fox Sports app, but will air at 7 p.m. Mountain and 8 p.m. Pacific later on. And finally, today we're ending with some huge news, as the rumors of CM Punk returning to WWE continue to grow. Recently, the FS1 studio show WWE Backstage saw Punk try out for a position, and according to Fight Oracle, an arrangement for the former world champion to return as a commentator is a done deal. Though plenty of past stars reportedly auditioned, including Taz, the return of Punk would be a huge story for WWE. Though fans will just have to wait until we get confirmation by the very same company Punk walked out of in 2014.